Okay, I think we're live and we're starting our weekly webinar. Hi, Dennis. Hi, Alina.
Hi,
Yeah,
hello, how are
hello.
you?
I just don't see the banner which shows that we are making an online broadcast. Maybe there are some technical issues, but if you see it, it's okay. If the audience is ready to get acquainted with our today's guest and to listen to her answers on our questions, as always, at Phillips webinars online series. So, hi again. Thanks for jumping in our call. And in recent issues of our online broadcast, we touched for several times the topic of curation in NFTs. We spoke to several platforms which introduced the curatorial approach towards selecting and minting the NFTs. And now we have a real NFT curator. I'm also happy to mention that Alina Gordienko, our today's guest, is a proud Ukrainian-born producer, video director, art curator with over 15 years of experience in art management and curatorship. So currently, Alina is based in London. So there in London, Alina founded Saturn 8, a production agency which helps creatives in building and developing their careers, as well as maintaining their artistic heritage with the focus on producing art. Alina has an extensive experience in curating more than 30 exhibitions worldwide as a curator, both physical and digital art. But more recently, Alina has slightly shifted her activity towards her focus, her scope towards NFT, and created a digital exhibit at the CryptoArtMuseum, featuring the artworks, for instance, by Grimes, well-known person, a singer, and also a girlfriend of Elon Musk. So the other artists created by Alina were Brick Spacer and Mika Johnson, famous as the winner of 2020 NFT of the Year reward and creator of Aku. Aku is a digital character for those who still hasn't acquainted with this character. So the story of Aku, I believe Alina will contribute on that, but I will tell you in a few words, like after hearing a young boy asking his mom if astronauts could be black. So Mika Johnson released a special NFT, a special black astronaut. So yeah, and also not to mention that for many years, Alina has been successfully working as a project manager, collaborating with the most renowned Ukrainian female contemporary artist, Oksana Mas. And what is even more important, Alina has remained alive after that collaboration. So hello, Alina, and I'm also happy to welcome back after her well-deserved vacation, project manager of Fuel Arts, Sonia Stablbein, my today's co-host. Hello,
Thank
all of you.
Happy to be back. I'm excited to have you, Alina. We're very excited about this topic and excited to ask you all the questions about what it is like be the curator in NFT space.
Hi guys, thank you. Thank you so much for such a beautiful introduction with the highlights I really love in my career. Thank you very much, Dennis. Thank you, Sonia. I'm very happy to tell you more about my curatorial experience today. It's gonna be more free format, so I'm gonna reply the questions and I'm gonna base my answers more on my real experience right now, because there are so many things going on right now. I'm involved in many projects and I'm getting deeper and deeper into the NFT and digital and Web3 art world, which is very exciting to me. I still keep my path towards the physical art, but I really love to see and explore how the world evolves in the direction of the digital art, Web3, and where we are heading. Let's discuss this philosophical question today.
Cool. So let's start with our questions. I'll be the first to ask, and very simple one. So from your experience, how did the term NFT curator occur? And let's say, what were the first curated NFT platforms and exhibitions?
Okay, to answer this question, let's talk first about the term of curator and how it occurred in a physical space first. And then we will move to the NFT, because initially it was the physical art world, if you guys still remember. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be back to the physical art world pretty often today, because still it's rooted, all the digital art is kind of rooted into the physical world. But there are several differences I would love to discuss with you guys today as well. So who is the curator? Curator is the person who is who has to combine so many roles in one. It has to be a copywriter, a philosopher, an art lover, art historian, manager, and strategist. I would say, I mean, you name it. So many things you have to combine in one to get a real curator, a real successful curator who can see the whole picture, who can make the project look alive, and who can help out the artist to show the brightest sides of their talent and their creativity. For example, one artist once told me, Dennis, you know this artist, you've mentioned her already. She once told me, like, I'm not a curator, I'm an artist. My job is to make a beautiful artworks, and your job is to explain it to the people and to let people understand what I mean. I love this phrase because it's actually very simple, but yet very profound, because normally artists, they don't know what they mean. They just kind of translate the, I don't know, whatever energy from space. And they expect the audience to understand them right away. So basically, the art curator is a very important part of this chain. It's the mediator between the audience and the artist, who is translating the energy of whatever the artists think they do, and create some kind of masterpieces, or not really masterpieces, but the curator has to explain the audience that it actually is a masterpiece, and what exactly the artist mean by that.
And to prove the price. I mean, to explain what the audience is paying for.
This is when we come to business. It's another part, and this is even more to it. So the curator is kind of guarantee of the legit price of the art.
So yes, and where, let's say, after explaining the term curator,
yeah.
So who is the NFT curator in that case, and how did it happen that this profession, because curator should receive a professional education in mine, not only mine, but in the market opinion. So how did it happen that the NFT world started requiring curatorship, professional curatorship?
I mean, without the curatorship, NFT world would not exist. I will tell you step by step. So every NFT project, there is a team behind every NFT project. And there is a person, it's not always called a curator, but behind every successful NFT project, there is a person who is coming up with the perfect concept, which will kind of be understandable to the audience, and which the audience can relate to. This is the part of the curatorial work. And I will give you more examples later with the most successful NFT projects and the concept behind, which is basically the main part of the project. Because as we all know, in NFT world, in digital art world, we're talking about the NFT. And if the visual part is not that important as the conceptual part, as the meaning behind the project. This is what they sell. They don't sell, basically, there's no physical art, there's no technique or something which is very valuable in the physical world. So basically the curator comes to first place in this case.
That makes sense.
Sorry?
Yeah, and I wanted to continue, like you were talking about like traditional curator, and after that you've been talking about NFT curator. Let's just kind of like try to sum it up. Like if we're talking about these two curators, I'm sure most of our audience already know what is a traditional art curator, but how would you define the differences and maybe like similarities between these two types of curators, like traditional one and the NFT one?
Well, so it really depends, because there are so many roles that curator can be involved in. For example, in NFT world, I just told you about the concept behind the NFT projects or collections or whatever, right? But there's also another direction, which is the exhibitions, which is very kind of similar to the exhibitions in the physical world. So basically the role of the curator in the digital or NFT exhibitions is to create the concept behind the whole exhibition, like how you connect these pieces together, how do they communicate to each other, and how do they form the one whole thing, and how do they, and which message they bring to the audience. If we're talking about the different pieces which are kind of from the different artists and from the different techniques and concepts, how do you combine it together? So basically this is a similarity between the NFT curator and the physical art curator, because physical art curators also work a lot with the institutions, museums, in order to create the exhibitions which have some kind of one red line topic, and combine the pictures which are not from the same artists, but translate the same idea in a way.
Cool. So let's put it short. Alina, could you please, let's say, enumerate what direct expertise and skills must have an ambitious NFT curator? I'm pretty sure that there are no not ambitious curators in the NFT space. So let's just speak
okay, there's a difference comes from this question. So if we are talking about the NFT curator, you have to be up to date to all the events which is going on in a crypto world, in a community, because NFT and Web3, it's very much community driven, and this is very different from the physical world, because it works completely differently there. And the first number one main thing for every art curator who is involved in NFT project has to be up to date and understand how the community works, what is important, what is the most important topic right now, what is the I don't know, what is the thing which all the people are talking about in Twitter right now, like even the memes, you know, you have to apply to people who talk with you on the same language. And in the crypto world, in the digital world, everything goes kind of not very actual, really quickly, because the events change every hour, and you have to be up to date, and you have to speak with people about the things they're really interested in this particular moment. In physical world, everything goes a bit slower.
Absolutely. And you just described like what expertise one must have to be like a very good NFT curator. And it totally makes sense like what kind of education one must get when, he wants to become like a traditional curator. But what in your perspective one needs to do to actually become like an NFT curator? What kind of knowledge or like education like he must get?
Right. This is I've just named like the most important thing and the most different thing for the NFT curator right now. But as I told you already, the curator doesn't matter from which world he is. He has to have such a wide expertise in all the things, starting from the art history. I mean, you can be a curator and know nothing. I mean, there are different situations, and especially now when the world is changing so quickly, you can be just you can just feel kind of the right vibe and do stuff. But if you want to work as with the larger institutions and do like major projects, you have to at least have an idea how it was in past and at least to have some experience from at least to learn some experience from the physical world, because the digital world is very new, and there are many things which are the artists or the curators are bringing up to the digital world from the physical world. So it would be great to have some kind of idea about the art history, and of course it's very important to be a good copywriter because for the curator it's very important to write the text and to be able to explain your idea in a clear way, and also for all the people to understand it right. And it's a huge responsibility as well, because you are having a role of the person who is translating the art language into the human language.
Right.
So this is how would I put it.
I also want to ask you, do you think like in the future, maybe in a couple of years or like in 5 years, in like a traditional education, like for, I know, becoming a curator, they would probably add some kind of like aspect regarding crypto art history, like NFT, and people would, be able to specialize in that or something. Could you imagine that happening?
I can clearly see it happening. The art history of the digital art is forming right now, and there's been a few years, and there is already a history. And it's very important for each new art curator in NFT to know this 2 years history at least, because there were the first artists who basically made this happen, and they came up with the first ideas and formed the basis of the NFT art, and something that we know now, and it's constantly transforming. So yeah, I think it's the same process as a normal art history, but with the normal art history, just the timeline is a bit longer.
A little bit different, exactly.
Yeah, thank you, Alina. I mean, my following question is, you've start talking about the place of NFT art, or at least I'd like to hear some more on the place of the NFT art in the world art history, because one of the biggest challenges, I would even say problems of, let's say, merging the two worlds of traditional art and digital art, as well as the two audiences of traditional art collectors and crypto millennials and Gen Z fond of collecting NFTs. So this gap, I mean, the reason why it happens, actually, there are two reasons, as the specialists admit. So they say that the traditional collectors, they do not still respect NFTs because there is no such an extensive history behind NFTs as behind traditional art. At the same time, collectors of digital art and NFTs in particular, so it's nearly the same audience, so they understand that neither Leonardo da Vinci nor Cézanne or Picasso, they haven't invented blockchain. They haven't made any contribution to the NFT world, but people did, but Puck did. And Mad Dog Jones also does it constantly. I mean, creates crypto manifestos and so on. So, but let's just start with the first part. I mean, where do you see, when it comes to define a place for NFTs in the world art history, where do you see the roots of NFTs? In the demo scene of 1970s, 80s, or earlier in the experiments of Namjoon Paik, or even in 1960s, where Lucia Fontana did the first experiments with neon light and neon tubes. So what are the origins of NFTs? Or maybe the Dada art from 1920s, the collages, because a lot of today's NFTs artists are designers, and they're using collages.
Right. Yeah. So I will start from the beginning, if you don't mind. So you said that there is a gap between the traditional art world right now and the NFT world. I would say, as a person who is like working every day with the institutions and people who are dealing with the traditional art, I would say it's not a gap, it's an abyss right now. And yeah, the major art institutions like auction houses who have the entire I don't know strategies for developing themselves up to date, they are trying to get into this train, right? But if we are talking about smaller institutions but still important in a traditional art world, they hate NFTs. And it's only because it's very difficult to say like when NFT was born and when the art history has begun, whether it's 60s or 70s or these experiments. For me, it's more like to compare something warm and something red. It's very different qualities of the things, you know? So they did try to do it, but they did back in 60s, and I read several articles that some artists who were experimenting with the film, video, and stuff, they are now considered as one of the first kind of NFT artists. But still, they, as you mentioned, it was very right points that they have never invented the crypto chain, which is changing everything from the philosophical perspective. And we just cannot say that it's been started back then, because it was just the visual part. But the visual part, it doesn't matter in NFT. It doesn't really matter. And the most important thing is this different kind of approach, the different kind of community which is collecting these NFTs. And this is like a pass to the community. It's not the something you own, right? Because it's the different, it's very different philosophy of the owning things. It's like a new page in the world history, not only the art history, because NFT is not only about the art, it's also about real estate, music, films, everything. It's everything. So this is a technology which brings us to brand new level we have never been before. That's why I cannot compare, and I cannot say that it's been started back in 60s. It's only my opinion. I'm sure that people have other opinion as well. But for me, it's like just very different worlds.
That's a very brave assumption, I should say. So you're trying to say now, or to claim, better say, that in the history of art, when it comes to include NFTs in the history of art, along with NFTs, the NFT community should be also included as part of the, let's say, background of invention of the phenomenon of NFTs. So the community will be also included into the history of art.
It's inseparable, in my opinion. It's, you know, the NFT is something that it's like another door has been opened, and we can see the different dimension now, you know. Maybe it's just too different from the flat world we used to live before. It's like a different dimension, which includes so many things at the same time. And community is the core.
Alina, I want to come back to your phrase that the visual doesn't matter. I feel like, you know, it strikes both of us, like me and Dennis. What exactly did you mean by this phrase? Because I feel it's like quite provocative to say that. So I want to hear your perspective.
Yes, yeah, I will tell you more about it. You know why what is the main reason the traditional art institutions or traditional artists or collectors hate NFTs? Because they always say that it looks cheap from the perspective of the physical art. Yeah, because I'm from the physical arts. I'm the person who have several degrees in art, and I went through the classical school, academical school, where we had to do all our sketches for 6 hours per day, and then we've been humiliated. It was not very similar to the model or whatever, you know. So this is how every artist lived. They went through the suffering to get something. This is how it was before. And now the new generation invented something they call art. I think they just still need another term for that, because it's not really art, but art is a wide term. But okay, let it be so. And they just jealous that some kids sell very lo-fi pictures for billions or whatever, and that's why they hate it. You know, that's why I'm talking that the visual part doesn't really matter. It can support the whole concept. For example, okay, I will give you several examples, like for instance the most successful projects, yeah, like from the top of my head, like CryptoChicks or Boring Apes Yacht Club. This is a concept, and the art is even generative. It's not even someone drew them, right? It's there was some concept which, okay, if we're talking about the Boring Apes Yacht Club, the concept behind, which is a curatorial job, right, is something that appeals to every person in crypto community. It's about the future billionaires of the crypto community who have everything, but they are bored. And also it refers to the Twitter term apes, which is also known only among the crypto community. It's about the billionaires, yeah, like crypto billionaires. And they want to hang out with each other and kind of speak with the people on the same language, but they are so bored because they have everything, because in the future all this crypto thing grow big, and they were at the very beginning of it. So it's the, you know, the story tells the entire, I don't know, fairy tale they live in right now. It's their own bubble. Tell this story to any art curator from the past, yeah? Tell this story to any artist who is selling their paintings, and they were like, what, apes? What are you talking about? What the fuck is that? Okay, these pictures have been generated by the computer, but where's the effort? Where's the pain? Where's the tears?
That's exactly what I
So
want to say. It's effortless. At least like that's how people see it from the outside. And I want to
yeah.
ask you as well, like you've been talking about like bored apes now. So you explained like the meaning why it's apes, like why they're bored and everything. But what do you think actually made it so successful? Because I feel like the marketing of this project is just like incredible, but it's very opaque because almost nobody knows what they did to become so successful, like in terms of marketing. Maybe you can share with us some like insights, what you know about how they actually became like so viral, apart from the, story of this concept.
This is how all the things become viral, they just needed the very first step when the person from the crypto world, the billionaire and the big art collector have been bought their first piece. And it's actually the proof that for the other people, because the community follows each other, they follows every step of each other, and it becomes like a snowball. One person who is trusted in a community bought the piece and then bought some more. I don't know how they made him do that, but I'm sure at some party, because they also have the parties all the time. This is the community. This is a different bubble, and this is how it started. And luckily some celebrities started to buy the piece, so it's like a classic viral thing, and this is where all the NFT artists are heading. It's their dream to get bought by some people who can claim that this piece worth it. And this is the beginning of the career, and it can be like this quick. It's not like in a physical world. As I told you, everything goes really quick. Somebody tweeted, yeah, Bored Ape or whatever, and put the piece on their avatar, which is also, you cannot do it with the physical art. Nobody will put their Picasso, right? They will hide it in the basement because they, or whatever. And this is completely opposite idea behind. So this NFT is kind of the path to this secret community or closed community of the people, and they are kind of trying to, at least they claim that they're trying to make this world better place and more friendly place, more supportive place. This is the idea behind the Web3 as well. Decentralization and making the world more friendly place, I would say so, by a community.
And at the same time, this is, you just explained the model how, let's say, 150 years ago, André Durand-Ruel, the first art dealer, Marchand, promoted impressionists. So he created the essence of a closed community. He used celebrities as the representatives of the states, the Empire of France. And he used, there was no Twitter at that time, but he used French newspapers who were creating informational buzz. And yeah.
Yeah, but this is the classical way for every viral thing, right? And it just, as we all came kind of from the marketing background, at least we had some experience in this sphere. We all know that every product willing to be marketed this way, but not too many people can, because this is the chain of the circumstances which has to come together. It's there are two ways. One way is to put tons amount of money to make it happen, and there's no guarantee it happen or not. And the other way is just a pure luck, when all the pieces come together. So it's classic.
Though I should admit that the importance of involving celebrities as the opinion leaders in the NFT world is much, much bigger. That the importance is much bigger than with regards to the physical art. The most of the top collectors of physical art, they either remain unknown or let's say they represent philanthropical matters, philanthropical issues. So they are known as rich philanthropists, having some other professions like investors or hedge fund managers, or let's say top rentiers. But when it comes to NFTs, it's all about celebrities, and it really works. It really works. I can't imagine that, let's say, the demand for David Hockney in the physical world increases if, let's say, Jennifer Lopez purchases his artworks. With all respect to Jennifer Lopez, or
yeah, exactly. But also there's
Kardashian.
important, sorry, there's an important point which you have mentioned already, that even the celebrities of these two worlds are different. The artists who are famous and well known and well respected in the physical world, they are most likely not going to be that successful in the NFT world, even when they mint their first NFT. And so some artists can kind of balance, but normally it's the artists who were born in this bubble and they have become famous inside of this bubble.
And why do you think it is? Like, why do you think, like, you know, popular or successful artists in traditional art market, why they're not successful when they try to mint and go into NFT space?
Because they think differently. They think, you know, they compare something warm and something red. It's just very different dimensions. They think they have different values and different approach. That's why. But I mean, people who were grown up in this crypto world, they see things differently, and something that is important for, like, this pain and tears and effort, which is important and which is the mark of the good quality in the physical world. Nobody cares about it in NFT world. This is completely opposite values. They value and they appreciate the quick success, the short and top-notch phrases, which is explaining the current situation in the world or in the crypto world, something really spot on, something really short, because the time there, the time is different. Time goes really quick there comparing to the physical world.
Very true. And actually, like, if we're talking about like NFT drops and NFT collections, we've been talking about Bored Apes, and that's probably like #1 in terms of like how popular it is. Like you said about quick success, like what other like NFT collections or like NFT drops can we name if we're talking about quick success?
Well, there are many, actually. I just wanted to name one more because I like the concept as well, and as an example, it's very good. CryptoChicks. This is is a good example if we are talking about the different approach and the community-driven art. So CryptoChicks is also it's a few girls who have invented this project, who have launched this project, and their idea is to help the female artists to grow the awareness of the crypto community and how to sell their art, because the crypto community was very much for the boys at the beginning, because people from crypto came there, and then they have become slowly the artists when the NFT starts to develop. So those girls have invented some kind of like educational purpose of the art. So again, they do the pictures of, like, they use generative art technology for their pictures of the nice ladies with the different outfits, different makeup and stuff. Like, it's also about the diversity, about the respecting yourself, loving yourself, cherishing yourself as a female, and also about the support. Their main point is the education of the women, of the female artists, and implementing their artworks in the best way in the community, and support, and showing their support to, and showing their kind of friendly attitude towards the newcomers as the females, and increasing the community. This is also the different stuff, because the physical artists are not kind of supporting the other artists normally. They can say so, or well, they don't even say so. They are very kind of individualistic. And in this case, people are trying to help the other people to get into the community and to show that the most important thing is to show that the community is friendly. And if you are willing to do things there, just accept the rules, and you are very welcome.
Cool. So let's shift from discussing the others' paths to your successful one. What are the highlights of your curatorial career in NFT space? Because we've announcing you as our today's guest, we've mentioned the digital exhibition curated by you at the CryptoArtMuseum with Grimes, with Mika Johnson, Brick Spacer.
Right.
So could you please elaborate more on that?
Well, I'm currently working on several very interesting projects, but I'm not going to tell about it today, but later I will open about it. But yeah, you mentioned the project with the Grimes. I would love to say that it's one of the highlights, because it was my dream actually all my life, since I know Grimes as the singer, to make something with her. But I never thought that it's gonna come up this way. You see, again, it's about the crypto world. It's about accessibility, so you can access people easily, more easy than in a physical world. And I've managed to get into this project as the curator. I was invited by people who were organizing this exhibition in CryptoArtMuseum, and there was a very nice selection of the artworks. We were contacting a lot the collectors as well to involve their artworks into the exhibition. And this exhibition included the artwork by Grimes and Brick Spacer and the other famous artists. And again, for the art collectors, I mean, in physical world, it's kind of similar, but in NFT world, each time somebody shows your artwork which belongs to you, it gains more price and value and stuff. So people are very willing to share their artworks. And also, there's no logistics, there's no I don't know, insurance, there's no extra costs for all this kind of things. So it's easier. It's easier to organize these kind of things, and not that time consuming.
And one small question before Sonia asks her next one. So you have an extensive experience, I mean, previously to starting curating NFT exhibition, you've had an extensive experience in video production and music production as well. So did it help you while working with NFT artists who represented, let's say, music industry like Grimes, or a mixture of music and video like Mika Johnson?
That's a great question, actually. I love it. Okay, so when I started my company Saturn 8, the agency for the artists, the art management and stuff, we were focused. So my main idea was that we're gonna be focused on multi-experiential projects, because I was, myself as an artist, I was always interested in combining different techniques, different spheres like music, art. So, and NFT is all about the collaboration between the medias, all about involving different artists with the different skills. That's why I can say that my experience in different spheres helped a lot. Video production, music, art, everything comes together and create one piece, which is NFT. And also NFT is about, you can do NFT for real estate or properties or values or whatever. So it's very much about combining the things that people did not combine before. And now I work with the people in the music industry who are switching to NFT. I've just recently finished my new music video. I don't know whether I can tell about it or not because it's not been released yet. I will do. So there's a music video for French actress called Isabella Gianni with the London-based band called the Penelopes. So they've made the song, and it's going to be a big fuss in French TV about it because she's a kind of very iconic actress. And this music video is the animation which is supported by Google, which is also promoting the new Google product called AR Sync. It's the music, the digital virtual music studio in your computer, I would say.
Cool. You've just disclosed 3 secrets in a row. Cool. So we're happy that you've chosen our platform, our broadcast for doing that.
Yeah, sorry.
No. Go on. Please go on.
Yeah, I'm just very excited. I hope I'm not gonna be sued after that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the main idea is that the premiere of the music video is gonna be in Metaverse.
That's very cool. And Alina, like when that's going to happen? Like, can we
in October, in late October.
Well, that's pretty soon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty soon. So hopefully nobody will see it before.
Fingers crossed. Anyway, I wanted to switch like more into institutions, museums, and galleries like who are involved in NFT. Like, could you name maybe like top 5 like institutions, galleries, like museums that are working with NFT right now?
Many museums are trying to switch to the NFT and even open their galleries or their houses in Metaverse, like major auction houses like Christie's, Sotheby's. They do things in Metaverse already, and the major museums as well. And if we are talking about the NFT world, it's about the physical world, yeah? And if we are talking about the NFT world, I just forgot to mention about the curation in NFT, yeah? So the main thing in NFT art world is the platforms which are really sell NFTs. And this is one of the most important thing for the curation, because most of the platforms which are curated are named like selling the most expensive and most valuable art pieces, because the curation itself, which is in this case just careful selection of the artworks which can be on the platform and which can be sold on the platform, it already means the quality of the artworks. It claims the quality, confirms the quality, and this is the sign for the collectors that this art is meaningful, that this art is valuable, and it can be bought because the curators of this platform have made this careful selection for you.
And also, I should admit that the names of those curated marketplaces, they prove they are expressing the essence of, let's say, some uniqueness that person is buying some kind of artifact like super rare,
like super rare,
known origin, or async art.
Exactly. And opposite, OpenSea, it's the platform where everyone can mint their NFTs and there's no curation. But it's not good or bad. It just means that it's open for all the people. But for the collectors, it means that it's kind of lottery. You can either buy something really valuable, something that will grow, or take a chance and buy something that will stay the same price.
Alina, and I was actually curious, sorry, Dennis, if we're still talking about this like curated platforms, who are the curators that are actually working on these platforms? Because the space is so new that I assume it's not only NFT curators. Like, who are these people? Do you know, like, who are in the board of, like, for example, like Super Rare or Known Origin? Who are the people who are like doing the selection?
I don't know right now, but at the beginning they did involve the physical curators a lot because there was no expertise in digital art yet. And I think for now, in 3 years to 4 years of existing of the NFT and the platforms as well, there's already a generation of the young curators who were grown up inside of this bubble, inside of this crypto community, who understand the trends, first of all, which is the most important. And at the beginning, it was more about the art itself, before it was formed into something that we have now. And now it's more about the special market activities. So first of all, the curators who are involved in the process, they need to understand the deep processes which take place at the market right now. So it's more like people from the crypto world.
Thank you, Alina. I'd like to get back to an interesting discussion which we had with you at previous Art Basel Miami Beach, last December. So I was quite surprised when you said that you see the future of NFTs in, let's say, mixing the formats. So could you please speak more about it? Because
I
it's
see the
your
future of NFTs. Where's my crystal ball?
Since that, I haven't heard anything similar from the others with respect to the others.
Okay, all the questions to my crystal ball, I'm asking about the future.
And the crystal ball is the heritage of Oksana Mais.
Love it. Forever in my heart. Okay, so that's my personal belief, because as I told you already, I love the combination of the different styles and different techniques and different medias. And as far as I see, NFT is not, if we are talking about the physical art, it's some clear media you can understand, you can name it, right? Like this is a painting, this is the sculpture, or whatever. It's made of marble. Now, I'm trying to explain, as I'm also in the music industry, I would say that the music tends to head towards mixing the styles as well. And now it's kind of rude to ask the musician, like, what style is your music, right? Because it's so kind of mixed, and there's no question like this anymore. Not too many musicians can say like, yeah, I play rock or I play pop or whatever. Everything is super mixed up, and same processes are going on right now in all the industries. In art, people trying to mix the techniques as well in physical art, And the NFT, it gives so many tools as it's digital, and there's no limits right now. It's just developing, and it's been invented not too long time ago, the way it is right now. I'm not going to the 60s to these guys who invented the ways, So there's so many options to combine different things, to support each other again, to support one artist support another artist. And this is also the classical way, for example, when I don't know, Eminem makes the music video with the Bored Apes, for example, and sell it as an NFT. Or a friend of mine is running a company which is selling the dream houses in metaverse, and the house itself is an NFT. Even though there are designers and architects who are working on it, you can put some artworks, and your favorite NFT pieces in the in this house, and then you can sell this house as an NFT. It's like a Russian doll, you know.
So you mean that, I mean,
There are many layers.
right. As, let's say, specialists say that a successful NFT artist is, let's say, no longer a single person, but a combination of, let's say, an artist, I mean, a thinker, a creator, a programmer, and a community manager. So this is, let's say, a collective.
This is a minimum for the NFT project team.
Yes,
this is a bare minimum.
This is, let's say, a successful NFT artist is a group of, let's say, a management team of 3 persons. But
Dennis, I feel like we lost you. Probably there are some technical issues. Yeah, he's probably just gonna join us when we're gonna, in a couple of minutes or seconds. I feel there is a thunderstorm in New Jersey, so that might be causing some technical issues with the internet. Anyway, Alina, you're here and I'm happy. I want to actually switch back to the institutions and now talk about galleries. What are the galleries you know about, like the physical galleries that are like already working, not only with NFT, but actually like NFT galleries in the physical space? Could you tell us more about this kind of phenomenon and what kind of galleries like that already exist?
Right. There's one gallery which have been opened just recently in London, and it's one of the first NFT galleries, like only NFT galleries in the UK. It calls Quantum Gallery, and it's kind of a very necessary bridge between the physical art and the digital art, which can raise the awareness of the digital art and NFT art among the art lovers who have their own habits to come to the physical space, and they don't normally use Twitter or spend their time in the community and stuff. So basically, I think in the recent years, even remember when we were in Miami Art Basel, there was a large room full of NFT pieces, full of screens where they have shown the NFT pieces, and it was so busy. There were so many people, so the interest among the art lovers is large.
Yeah, it was the Tezos Pavilion that got the most attention back then. Yes.
Exactly. And these galleries, these physical galleries, are very important to attract the attention of the physical art lovers, and to let them know that this kind of thing exists as well, and at least get them interested and ask the questions other than just deny what they normally do.
So you basically think that like this kind of physical galleries, like physical NFT galleries, they kind of touch the different audience, not like the platforms, but they just touch the audience that maybe is not that in touch with like NFT and like, I don't know, platforms and things like that. Do you think they just touch the different community?
I think that they can appeal to people who are open to the new things in a digital, in a physical world, because I feel like not all the people from the current physical art world can move to a digital world at all. More like a very high percentage will never do so. But there are still young people who are also our generation, we were grown on a physical art, but we are not that kids who are dealing with the Twitter right now, and they are like at the very beginning. Yeah. For example, for people from our generation, it's very useful to get to know more about the digital art, and to understand that it takes place in our world, even though they don't like it, and at least it worth their attention, and it worth to get to know more.
Yeah, sorry, girls. I returned back. My laptop occasionally exploded. I've just connected with
Wow. Are
using
you okay?
the other device. Yeah, there is a lot of smoke here, but yeah, I believe. Uh, I mean, extensive work at Fuel Arts. We are working nights and days. So yeah,
Very dangerous sphere, very dangerous.
but at the same time, we received the one of the highest rewards in the digital art world, the words of appreciation from Sylvain Levy, the co-founder of DSL Collection.
Wow.
So yeah, he considers our discussion great, and it really it's really very friendly, very natural. And also, Danner asks, and not even Prince. Oh, yeah, he's commenting. Thank you for your contribution to our discussion, by the way. So, and not even Prince, but any kind of physical NFT version, really.
I feel there is the first message as well, because it's just the second message we have. The first one from Danner is actually, do you think NFT prints will ever be obsolete in a sense? Will people not want any more physical representations because the metaverse, when it really hits, might reinforce more of the digital file aspect only? And then we have the second, the continuation of this question here.
Right, right. So, as we are all moving towards the metaverse, I feel like there's gonna be less and less physical art, and it's gonna be a luxury in a way. Um, our world is going to hell. Who needs physical shit anymore? We're all gonna move to metaverse soon, and I'm looking forward for this moment to come. So I think that's, okay, if serious, I do think that in a very, very close future, more of our values will move to a digital world anyway. We're gonna have the houses, the digital clothes, and the digital assets of and kind of things like art pieces and stuff, more in the digital world, if our world will not explode before that.
Thank you, Alina. So during the period I've been reconnecting, I've missed the, let's say, the plot of our conversation. So has Sonia already asked you about the, let's say, the recommendations to professionals wishing to become top NFT curators? Because I know that that's her favorite question towards all of the guests.
Very
I'm
true.
happy to.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm happy to answer that. Well, again, you just have to be open to all the new things, and remember that there is no limits in a digital world. You have to be ready to experiment. I've already mentioned that you have to be up to date to the particular community things which are going on right now, and to be willing to follow the time, which goes not that slowly as it goes in the physical world. So everything goes really quick, and and to be friendly with the community, to be willing to share your ideas, share your ways of living, your creativity, and the community will accept you and help you to grow.
That sounds
This is
great.
how I see it.
Thank you so much for covering this very interesting topic of like NFT curation. We also had so many topics that we discussed. I mean, like top collections, like what is like NFT curator, traditional curator, like what one needs to do to actually become an NFT curator. So thank you so much for being here with us. And I hope our audience found this conversation interesting. Oh, we have another comment here from Streaming Museum. Alina, thanks for your great energy and knowledge that's propelling the NFT world forward. So that's an amazing
Thank
compliment.
you. Thank you so much. That's very, very sweet. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. I'm always happy about I'm always happy to talk about the things which I'm very passionate about. So yeah,
because
thank
passion
you.
for a curator is one of the main, let's say, features.
Totally. That's the key point. Totally. You have to be passionate about what you do. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. Life is too short. Just do what you like, and you're going to be successful in it if your love is pure.
But life in digital world and NFTs extends your lifetime. So everyone should be warned
Yes.
about it and use it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
See you in a week.
Always pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.